Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hey, Akash, how's it going? Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully this fucking thing works this time. I love streaming so much. It is so fun. It's the best thing I've ever done. We're gonna do a little stream. I'm gonna make some presets with a kit maker and other stuff. And yeah, if you have any gear questions, just ask me them and I will answer them. I hope everyone's doing good today on Monday. You've been good? Good. Good is good. Princeton, it's not going to be that exciting. How about me? I've been mostly good too. It's beautiful outside these days, and we're starting to garden and also to bird feed, which is really, really great. I've never fed birds in my life, but now we have a bird feeder. And it's pretty magical, honestly. It's really, really, really cool. Thank you, everybody, about the thank you for the kind words on the consumerism video. I thought that was really nice how much it generally landed. When did you change the logo? Earlier this year. I had a friend of mine and really, really talented artist redo some stuff. And yeah, we went for like a cassette futurism sort of like NASA meets Roland kind of look. By the way, if I sound drunk or weird, it's because in order to fix the audio that I had an issue with this time, I am running my vocal through Ableton and just giving one feed here. So I'm a little delayed in my own microphone, but this is, I swear to God, just fucking streaming is so cursed. It's so stupid. Yeah, I hate it, but I want to hang out, so we're going to do that. This right here, this, by the way, is a new thing I just got called Kit Maker, and there's another one called Preset Maker. Let me find that. Preset Maker. And what these do is they make... Hey, where's Preset Maker? They make kits out of sample packs, kits and instruments for things like Ableton and the Deluge. So one of the things you can do is throw machine files at this. So machine libraries and native instruments, you can buy these expansions for the machine. And thank you. I will try to have a nice day. You too. Yeah, I am attacking myself with the Ben Jordan sonic weapon. I will figure out some kind of like live vocal situation with what do you call it? With my vocal. I'll figure something out. But for right now, this is what works. Digichain. What's Digichain? Let's figure this. Digichain. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I bet I know what this does. Does this make chains out of things that you can then put into it's some online thing. What's this? Ooh, what's this? Let's see. Drop samples here to get started. Okay, we'll give Digichain a try. I always like new tools, and then we'll go back to Kit Maker and I'll show you how that works as well. This would have saved me some time once when I spent like 200 hours editing disco drums rips from records. Yes, yeah. Is Ableton good for beginners? Yes, I think it is. I think it is. I think if you like go through Ableton's like little making music course, like I think this is, let's see, we're just opening up all kinds of windows today. Ableton making music, learning music, excuse me. Head on over to here and give this a try. So it's learningmusic.ableton.com. So what this does, can you hear that? Yeah. What this does is kind of like prep you for how Ableton works. And it walks you through like different things that you might do. So here's like a grid for making beats, right? And you can come up in here and kind of mess around and do shit like this. So when you say you're like a complete beginner, there's a couple different types of beginner, right? Like, if you're a beginner at everything, then all of it's going to seem like a lot. Because it is a lot. Like, being a producer of music is knowing like a billion different things, and that just is what it is. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, you do have to know a lot. So starting with like small things that you can like wrap your head around, like how to make a 205 BPM beat like this. Yeah, this is how I'm writing all my music from now on. Oh, we got learning synths.ableton.com. We'll check that in a second too. So check this thing out. Go through this whole thing. Go to learningsynths.ableton.com and give that a try. And see how it feels. What is this? I got a couple questions coming in. I will answer those in just a second. If you don't hear anything, make sure your sound is on and the volume is turned up. Well, definitely hear that. Drag in the box below to play a synthesizer. Why is it italicized? You know what this sounds like? This is the beginning to Natural One by Folk Implosion. Here, we'll just do it. Natural One Folk Implosion. Hey, no, I want to hear this. I want to make my stream unmonetizable. Yeah, there it is. That's the good shit. That's that sound. I can do it here. Anyways, do this and do the learning music. And if you think that's cool, get the intro version of Live and start playing around with it. Just play around with stuff. Can't hear the vid. Okay, well, it is what it is. It's Folk Implosion by... Yes, you can. You can hear that. I'm the one, natural one, take it easy. You can take it in stride. If you don't know this track, it's fucking bomb. I'll put it in the chat. Here you go. Boop. All right. Let's go back to answer some questions because I don't want to miss those. Bop, 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 bop. And yes, I do know that I'm a hypocrite for talking about gear and doing a video on consumerism. You can't do both at the same time. I live in a society. Thank you, chat. Chet. Thank you, chat and chat. Okay. Should I be concerned that Atlantics only has one envelope generator for its two oscillators? So, no, you shouldn't. No. No. You shouldn't be. It is great. I love the Atlantics so much. If you want a 2-envelope Atlantics, get a... well, first of all, if you're going to get an Atlantics, you should have maybe a little bit of extra stuff on the side, like quadracs or something, just like supporting, modules to go with it. And people don't know what they're talking about. I'll pull this up real quick. Maybe we're not getting any kits made today. Maybe we're just doing this. So this is actually really common, the envelope slash the VCA slash VCF thing where one envelope does both volume and filter. That's like pretty normal in stripped down synths, especially in modular. Like, it's very rare that I create like two separate two separate envelopes for volume and filter. So I don't really have a problem with this. As for the second oscillator, the second oscillator is like, it's supposed to be like either a second pitch alongside the first, or more likely you'll be using it for modulation, either as an LFO or as a audio rate modulator. That's why we got this shit down here. So no, it's not bad. It's fine. It's good. The Atlantics rules. And if you do get it, and you are really missing a second, a second envelope, then you can just get a little envelope generator next to it, maybe a little envelope generator and VCA, and then run the second oscillator out that way. I don't think you're going to need it though. I think one of the nice things about the Atlantics is it is perfectly stripped down to its most useful elements, and in that sense, it's just, and it sounds great. It just sounds fucking fantastic. I love it. Hopefully that helps. Let's see what else. So Cryxo Wolf, learning DAWs is rough. I'm just gonna go back to that for a second. Just throw yourself at it. Like, you're gonna make shit that sucks, okay? Like, it's okay, and it's gonna be a little frustrating, but you have to suck before you get better. It just is what it is. Do 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 do. Yeah, I don't really like voice meter either. Let's see what else we got. If you were stranded on a desert island, says Chaz Coppard, with only headphones and one bit of kit, what would it be? Okay. Okay. So that changes like a lot. I think it'd be the Deluge right now, honestly. I've fallen back in love with the Deluge quite a bit. I'm making a lot of presets for it. I think it represents a really good balance of... Oh, actually, ooh, this is hard. It would either be the Deluge or the Machine Plus, because I think the Machine Plus is like super underrated. And I've seen them go for like $600 on Reverb. Like, it's crazy how little they're going for if you find one. Like, the Machine Plus is highly underrated in terms of its power and ecosystem. It is really, really good. So don't sleep on that. I'm not here to give you gas about anything, but I'd say it's somewhere between the Deluge and the Machine Plus. I'm working on more presets for the Deluge right now, and as I make more stuff for it, I love it more. Where the Machine Plus, doesn't have the same kind of synth engine stuff, but it can do things with effects that the Deluge can't, which is pretty cool. So those are my two choices. Robert asked, help, should I sell my analog rhythm and form... Oh, should I sell my analog rhythm and 4 Mark IIs to get a Hapax and a TR-8S? I already have an MC707 to go with them. This dilemma blah, 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 is causing me restless nights. Ooh, no. No, I don't think you should. I think, while the Hapax is super, super, super cool, the analog rhythm and analog 4, well, the analog rhythm is like one of the best drum machines on the planet. The only reason I would do this is if you just want to get like a lot simpler with what you're doing. So like the TR-8S and MC707 on their own would be enough. You wouldn't need a Hapax, assuming that you get along with the sequencing on the MC707. The Hapax here is kind of like a confusing thing. That seems like a little overkill. If you're just planning on using the Hapax to sequence both, if that's your idea, then I guess that kind of makes sense. But I think you'd be getting rid of 2 incredibly competent like performance devices. And the only reason I really see to have hardware is to do performance. I think the TR-8S is like a really good performance device, but I think that the Rhythm and the Analog 4 are both even better. So I see why this dilemma is causing you restless nights, because it's kind of a weird question. Like, it's like, on one hand, you would be getting something that could be simpler to use, but on the other hand, you would be getting rid of something that's already really, really powerful. All right. I'm looking, Voidcat says, I'm looking for deep hardware FM synth. Any recommendations? Yes. I have one. It's called the Op6. The Digitone and the Op6. Those are the 2 FM synths that are currently out there that I recommend. Do not sleep on the Digitone. It is fucking amazing. But the Op6 is the, what do you call it? It's the FM synth, like, as far as I'm concerned right now, unless you're starting to get into like the Montage or something like that, which, you don't really need to do. But yeah, it's the Op6, the Korg Op6. And I think you can get, there's like a desktop version of it now. Let's see. Korg Op6. Is there do they make like a little baby version of it? Yeah. Yeah, look, you can get a module version of it. This thing rules. It absolutely rules. Op6 rules. All right, let's keep going. Um, a fox in space. Hello, friend. Oh my God. Hi. I love your stuff so much. Scrolling down, I see stars and foxes, and now we're all in space and we're all foxes. If you guys haven't seen their work, their Star Fox work, it's really good. I'm not going to play it right now, but like go to, I mean, furries know what this is, but non-furries, you all should watch this too, because like it's actually really, really funny, and done with this like really all the way through sort of Lovage-esque, like 70s like style. Like there's something about the audio in these that is just like it tickles my ears in a really, really like Boards of Canada way. It's really cool. I don't know how you manage to make the audio, like the vocals, sound like they're coming out of like a vintage educational film or a vintage cartoon, but like good work on that. It's fucking cool. Uh Hedge, Jeremy, hedge. I have a dilemma of whether or not I should go for Digitone 2 or build modular very slowly. I have a Digicat and Digicat. I have a Digitakt and I feel the need of a synth next to it. I will tell you, okay, yeah. So Digitakt and Digitone, either version together are insane. I'm gonna say go for the Digitone 2. Absolutely. Like I think the Digitone 2 right now is one of the most, if not the most powerful, like sequenceable synthesizer on the market. It's multi-timbral. It has more tracks than you'll need. You have a ton of synth engines in it now that go beyond just the FM stuff. And what else? There's some like little quality of life things that are like really make it dope. Like you can take the sample rate reduction and the overdrive and put them after the filter now, which means that you can get like gnarly distorted like 303 kind of sounds. So Digitone all the way, like it's fucking rad. And next to the Digitakt, like that's what I'm using for my FWA show. You can't see it over there. I'll end up doing a video on it, but like I'm using Digitakt, Digitone, well, Digitakt 2, Digitone 2, and some Ableton. And all the synth parts are written in Digitone 2, and all of the, what do you call it? All the drums are coming from Digitakt 2. It's going to be something you see a lot from me over the next couple years. So, yeah, don't get into modular unless you hate yourself. Trans rights, the Lucky Beat asks, trans rights are human rights. True. Also, any tips on changing between presets on my Beatstep Pro? I'm struggling to understand how to do DAW versus DAWless without the MIDI converter on the Korg Volca. I don't know. So what you're talking about are program change messages. God, I'm sonic web-bedding myself. So can the Beatstep Pro send program changes? Okay, that's not useful. Yeah, I don't know if it can be done just based on this cursory search. Now, I'm gonna use something that don't get mad at me, but this is a large language model, but this thing is really, really great to ask questions like this. I'm also going to show you another way that you could ask that same question. So the question they have here is, how can I change presets on my Beatstep Pro? Oh yeah, you want to send preset changes out from your Beatstep Pro into your Korg. Okay, so that's a program message. And then we ask this thing, can the Beatstep Pro send program change messages? And it's going to go and search a bunch of places. Oh, it says it can. Control mode, which allows users to map sequence pads or knobs to send program changes. Okay, citation fucking needed, but let's go ahead and find that out. We're going to go to the Beatstep Pro manual, like this. And we're going to actually download this. We're going to download this. Save link as desktop. All right. Now I'm going to go to Google Notebook. And what's his name? Mylar Melodies did a video about this, and he got a lot of shit for it. But this is where I upload my manuals so I can just ask them questions. So it's going to ingest this manual, and now I'm going to say bop bop boop beep bop boop boo as soon as it is done. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. Okay, cool. How do I send a program change message? All right. So here is a step-by-step instructions on how to send a control change message with the BeatStep Pro. And then the other end of it is, let's see, well, you say Korg Volca. So can the Korg Volca, I'm going to go back to Perplexity actually. But up beep boop boop. Can the Korg Volca receive I can't spell, just so you know. Messages. We will find out. The ability depends on the specific model and firmware version. Okay, so here you go. It's not simple. There's no native support for MIDI program changes in the Volca keys or Volca drums. Probably not the Volca modular either. And the Volca FM seems like only with an unofficial firmware version. Woo! So my tip for you is, when you're playing live, like, try to come up with some transition where maybe only drums are playing, and then use your hand to switch the preset. It's not super sexy, but it works. It sounds like it's going to be a huge pain in the ass to do it otherwise. Okay, cool. Ba-da beep boop boo. Small Bean, 20 minutes of my life wasted not watching this stream? What? What? Did someone... What does that mean? Is it because I used an LLM to look up information? What the fuck was that about? Okay, Small Bean. Sorry. It's fucking weird of you that I'm sitting here trying to give advice out to people, and you decide that that I'm a bad person or something. People's attitudes towards AI or LLMs are really wild to me. I'm not going to get into it anymore, but like, yeah, it's super, super, super weird how weird people get about this stuff. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, like, sorry, Small Bean, look, if you wish you had gotten here in the start and that's what you're talking about, I do apologize for my anger there. I just assume that, like, based on what I've seen, people were talking about, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Sorry, I'm sensitive. Let's keep on getting into questions because at least I can, like, answer those. Okay. Do I play shows? Are you bookable somewhere, or is it just the odd gig to do someone a favor? Okay. I will play shows if you book me. I have a website. You can email me. Yeah, hit me up. Small B, and I apologize if you were trying to be a positive. There's no way to know necessarily, like, online. Okay. Also, are we going to see a DNB track from scratch on the DN2 eventually? Yes. So I have used a tool to, what do you call it? I used a tool to split up the some of the soundtrack tracks from Zankyu No Terror, which is a what do you call it? An anime that I really like that has some of the most amazing music in it. Okay, cool. Small bean, we are diffused. We have diffused our beanness. I would never want to be on the wrong side of someone named Small Bean, because I believe in small beans. So yeah, slowing down or reading things a few times helps with me with that. Yeah, I guess I should have done that. Anyways, if you haven't watched this anime, I think it's really, really good. And the soundtrack is insane. And so what I did was I broke some stuff up into stems. And what I'm going to do is bring them over to the station over there that I'm using for the FWA show. And I'm going to try and do a drum and bass set with remixing these tracks. So one of those I will do as what do you call it? As a video from scratch. Just give me some time. Like I've got so much shit going on, and I'm trying to like I don't know. I got a lot of shit going on, so it may take me a while. But yes, I will try to do a D&B track from scratch on there. A Fox in Space, you got a Polybrute 12? Holy fuck. Yo, hell yeah. Also, say hi to Too Much Dynamite for me. Wow, we got furry celebrities in the chat. That's rad. I'm so stoked that you got a Polybrute 12. That is an insane synth. Rad. Hell yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Peter I read that as Peter Coyote. Peter Coyote asks, what modular case setup would you use for live? So that is an ever-changing thing. I've done a couple live sets with different types of modular things, and it all depends on what you're trying to achieve. So the answer to that is whatever would work for that particular set. You have to pick voices and tools that allow you to get the sounds that you want, but more importantly, almost get the sequencing and arranging that you want. And sometimes that means really, really agile tools for like sequencing. So things that can be pushed around in a safe way very, very well. So like the Clank Chaos would be an example of that. What other sequencers work really well? Marbles through a quantizer works really, really well for that. Really performance sequencers. Renee, I could see performing live with Renee. And then you have sequencers that are about total recall. So things like the Constellation, the Metron, the Hermod, what's that one from Tubutech, the MC or the Tubutech sequencer. I've played a live set with this. Brainstep. This is a great little sequencer. I love this little thing. So you start at the end goal. It's like, what do I want to sound like and how do I want to perform? If I'm making techno live, I'm going to do something different than if I'm doing ambient live, probably. And then that's your sequencing, that's your modulation, and then you pick your voices and your effects that go with that vibe. And yeah, I know that's sort of a really general question, but it depends on what I'm trying to do. That's basically it. Have I tried the Mega FFM Mark II from Twisted Electrons? If so, what's your opinion? I haven't. No, that's all Cuckoo. Cuckoo is the Mega FM master. And Aden Deanda asks Percons for hip hop. Yeah, if you want to make like clipping style stuff, or I don't know anyone else that makes like more electronic side or acidy hip hop, but like Percons hits hard. It's a great sounding box. I wouldn't associate it with like boom bap, but like, yeah, I think you could do hip hop with Percons. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. Boop, boop, ba-da, boop, boop. And right after that, someone says, I've been so interested in seeing someone try boom bap on Percons. I mean, boom bap is just like swing and like an attitude, right? Like it's not necessarily just the drums, right? So like, yeah, you could do boom bap style drums on the Percons and then pair it with like something else to do the music stuff. Crixo is trying to replace my doll with gear a sign of a problem? Only in as much as I believe at the beginning of the stream you were asking about how hard it is to learn a DAW and if you should learn Ableton. That's a pretty big jump you just made right there. All right, here we go. Boop bop beep beep boo. Charles asks, "Yo, I've gone through some different music journeys, semi-modular, Electron, Ableton. I'm realizing that what I want to make music jam that feels physical, no more screen. I'm thinking tape loops. You can go ahead and think tape loops all you want. I have nothing to contribute to that. I don't. My physical music making stuff extends to Electron and playing live keyboard. I think tape loops are a physical object. I think what I might recommend to you if you want to make something that feels physical is start hitting things with drumsticks or your hands. Like start playing drums. Start playing drums and do it like Shigito does live. Let's see. I'll have to find an older video of him because this motherfucker, like 2025. Here we go. Yeah.
We've got it tuned to 90.3. It's K.
Old Shigito is the best shit. God, it's so good. Anyways, so when I think of physical, I think about this. I think about like the most physical instrument I can think of is drums. And if you really want to feel engaged physically with what you're doing, it doesn't have to necessarily be this, but it could be like hand drum stuff, like you could get electronic hand drums or MIDI controllers for that, and really just like engage with your music physically. This is taken to an extreme, and obviously he's still using Ableton, but like you want physicality, hit things. Let's leave that playing since it's so good. Here we go. All right. I have a sizable modular but got into Electron gear, and this is from Apocalypse Rex, and the Digitac 2 and Digitoto. Oh, that wasn't a question. It's a recommendation. I agree. Okay. Keep on going. Keep on going. All right. What do we got? Ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Everyone loves the Digitone 2. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, the chat just jumped up. What else do we got? Hi, Jack. Could you show us how to make and design drums like in Stimming Lucky Me? Probably not here, but let's take a listen real quick and hear what it sounds like. Whoops. A month ago. New Stimming? Ooh. All right, so these drums sound like garage drums to me, like UK garage. That's where I'd probably start, but really there's nothing crazy going on here. It's a kind of organic sounding kick, meaning it has like a beater feel to it as opposed to like fully synthetic. Oh no, is the stream still working? Stream, come back. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, great. So, a kick drum has like a beater on it, bonk, bonk, and that's a very like sort of mid-range to high, like clicky sound. And this has that like boom, boom. It reminds me of Apparat quite a bit. And the snare is like a snappy synth snare. Cha, cha. So I would look into like Apparat style drums or Fortet style drums or UK garage style drums. And then on the hi-hat, what you can hear is like a little bit of velocity sensitivity, which is really, really important to give it that organic feel. It's like, so So he's got a open hi-hat and a closed hi-hat, and it sounds like it's being played. So that's kind of like probably a big part of what you're reacting to is that really organic sounding hi-hat. There's a small offbeat hi-hat over to the left. Offbeat open hi-hat, small. And that's one going ch, ch, ch. So still really tight, organic sounding. I think I'd say in general, this just sounds really organic. But that's it. There's not much else to it from what I'm hearing. It's a semi-organic sounding kick drum with a tight, snappy snare and a velocity sensitivity hi-hat. So like put some velocity sensitivity in your 16th note hi-hats and have it interchange back and forth with a open hi-hat that comes from the same drum machine. So you want your closed hi-hat and open hi-hat to be kind of like cut from the same cloth. And then that offbeat open hi-hat they had on the left was like short and very like a choked organic open hi-hat. And that's pretty much, I think. Boop up beep boop boo ba da ba 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 da ba 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 ba. All right. I'm going through the rest. Now we have the Small Bean Saga, and we are getting through that. Thank God we got through it. Okay, great. What are your thoughts on the TE pricing model? Well, Flowers, I kind of already talked about this. And I hate this conversation. Not your fault. I just hate this conversation. Let me put it this way. The same shit always comes up every single time this conversation comes up. One, they're a design company, okay? They don't make musical instruments. They're a design company. They make musical instruments that are pretty and really insanely constructed. That's the thing that you also have to understand about like things like those recorders and stuff like that they have. The amount of like custom machining that went into those things is insane. So instead of trying to make something that is like affordable, they want to make something to whatever standards they have decided they want to make something to. And so I think the take home thing is like Teenage Engineering doesn't care what you think, if that makes sense. Like they just don't care. Like they are going to make something that they want to make, and they are going to take into account like things like user interface and stuff like that. But I don't think they really give a shit about what you think from a pricing model or anything like that. And therefore, I don't really give a shit. Like, I bought my first OP1, the OP1 that I made all the videos with for, God, what was it? Let me ask real quick. What was the price for the OP1 in when it came out? $7.99 for me back when I got it. It was also kind of like the only piece of hardware that I had at all for a really long time. And obviously I got a lot out of it. $7.99 in today's, let's see. I don't know why I closed this video. What is $7.99 in 2011 in today's money given inflation? Inflation. So just with inflation, the original OP1 would have cost $1,151. So that's something to consider. You know, inflation is an invisible hand pushing everything more and more expensive. And it just is what it is. Like, I don't know what else to say. I don't want to get into an argument about them. I think they make some really, really interesting things. I also think, again, they just don't give a shit about what other people think. Really. So I hope that at least helps you clarify my position on the whole thing. AMS Rhythm asks, what are your thoughts on the Yamaha Montage M8X? I What's up with the X's one? Is the X the super fancy one? I have a Montage M6, and I think it's amazing. So this is the flagship. What's the difference between this and the X? Why did I close? Let's see. Maximum polyphony increases from 256 to 400. Not necessarily. Polyphonic aftertouch on the M8X. Yeah, that's cool. ANX engine virtual analog. Wait, I thought I have that. I have that. So, anyways, it's an incredible synth. If you want a workstation that can do everything, oh my God, look at this guy. Who's this? Who's this guy? Who's this? Y'all, why are they doing this to me? Look at this little friend. Anyways, if you're thinking about a workstation synth that can do everything, then the Montage is fantastic. It's great. It's amazing. James Bond James asks, is there a non-electron sequencer drum machine you would recommend for someone that likes the general sound of the 909, but realizes that getting a 909 is made? Yeah, the TR-8S. Yeah, get a TR-8S. If you want a drum machine with the classic Roland sounds in it, and you want it to be fun and performative, the TR-8S is a absolute no-brainer. This thing absolutely rules. It's so fun to play. These are volume sliders. It's great. And there's a kit editor for it online. Not online. It's a piece of software, I think, which makes it even easier to make custom kits. I think this thing rules. And the only reason I don't have it still is because I have sort of committed to the Electron boxes. But if you're like, oh, I like classic Roland drum machines, what should I get for a drum machine? It's the TR-8S. No question whatsoever. And all the stuff that I am recommending, go get it used, like get used stuff if you want, because it's usually well taken care of. That's a pretty good little track here from Stimming. I remember I met Stimming at Super Booth, and just in passing, I was like, Stimming, I love your work, and he was like, oh, thanks, but I was like, your music, and he's like, oh, thank you. I think a lot of people know him from YouTube, and I think he might be like kind of over that shit. So yeah, we'll go back to Shigito here. Okay, keep on going. Oh, thank you, the Lucky Bead. I love the Lucky Bead's fat, thick pear that they sent me. Thank you so much, the Lucky Bead. Okay. Let's keep on going. Oh yeah, Peter Coates says, read earlier that Google AI is doing library music, so that's quite a few people out of job. Let me tell you my story about that. So I have done 4 rounds of library music for YouTube. And what that entailed was I got paid $10,000 for 10 tracks, 4 times. I have made $40,000 from YouTube doing library tracks, which quite frankly is fucking bonkers. It was an amazing gig, best paid gig I've ever had, just like stupendous. So if you are part of the, if you're part of this whole thing on YouTube, then you can go into here, search for Jeremy Blake, and you will find my music. You can put some of this on, I guess. Boop. So I've done 4 rounds, and each round kind of has like a different vibe. And it's all over the place, like pop, like electronic music, hip hop or lo-fi hip hop, cinematic, ambient, whatever. So last year, I think, so November 2023 was the last time I did a thing of it. They get all the rights to this. I don't get any residuals whatsoever. So many people reach out to me to use my tracks from this in their projects, and I'm like, I can't give you that because YouTube owns them. But now I'm going to just tell people, yeah, fuck it, do whatever you want because of this AI shit. So last year sometime, the person who spearheaded this this project, the contact at Google, said, hey, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm starting this new project where I'm going to get a bunch of composers together, including you if you want to be part of it. and we're going to have this like tag keyword cloud, and you're all going to make music according to these keywords, and we're going to use this music to give to advertisers when they upload when they want to put an ad on YouTube, where they could just like slot in music under their ad automatically based on keywords. And I was like, okay, I mean, I still like composing, so let's see. The pay was bad compared to what this was, and when I got into a call with the rest of the composers, one, they assumed everyone used Logic off the bat, which I thought was a little shitty. But two, they were like, yeah, you know what? We should all be the judge of each other's tracks. We should all like peer review each other's tracks. And for all the other projects I did for YouTube, I just got to do what I wanted to and give them the tracks. So I was like, no, fuck this. This sounds like, no, I'm not doing this. Shitty pay and like peer review with a bunch of wankers who don't know what Ableton is? No. So my contact was like, okay, so you don't want to do that. How about one more round of YouTube library music in the old way? And I was like, hell yeah, let's go. He's like, all right, Google will reach out to you with the job. Instead, what I get is a message saying, your address is wrong. Or I know I found out my address was wrong. So I'm like, hey, can I get my address changed up before we get started? He's like, yeah, sure. Let me put in the request. And then it basically stopped. There was no more. It just stopped from there. I never got to do that last round. And assuming that these composers all went and wrote all these pieces by keyword. And then yesterday or the day before, I hear about this fucking AI shit. I'm like, did these composers basically create compositions to train AI on for library music? Did they just write themselves out of a job? And then I'm like, oh fuck, did they use my music that was already part of the YouTube library to train the AI? I don't know. I have no idea. They have carte blanche use to these. So it's very possible the work that I did for them was used to train this goddamn AI library music thing. I reached out to my contact yesterday. I don't expect I'll hear back from them at all. But oh boy, yeah, it fucking sucks. It sucks ass. And I hate it. Anyways, okay. Keep on going. Have you tried? No, I haven't tried that. Okay. What are we making presets on? Antoine? Nothing. We're just chatting right now. What do you think of Ben's AI poison pill initiative? Could be in the Hope in the Void. I haven't watched it. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Jeremy. Oh, hi, Medlife Synthesist. Loved the consumerism video. Also, I watched the Polybrute 12 concert yesterday and life's changing. Oh, thanks, dude. I hope you're well. Thank you very much. Dop, bop, beep, boop, bop. Bop, bop, beep, bop, boop, bop, 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 bop. Yes, Yoko Kanno is a genius. Okay, so we'll keep on going. Ed says, great new video, by the way. I love how you didn't use the same lefty terms like late-stage capitalism or commodity fetishism. Well, the term late-stage capitalism doesn't really apply to what I'm talking about, because the problem of consumerism as a overall thing that I was referring to started a lot earlier than any concept of late-stage capitalism. That was then like in the 1940s that the economic gospel of consumption was introduced. So it's not a problem with late-stage capitalism. This has been written into our culture for decades and decades and decades, almost 100 years at this point. As for commodity fetishism, unfortunately, it's still applicable to this whole thing. So, be careful with how you throw around things like lame lefty terms and then disregarding like entire concepts, I think, because I think, unfortunately, even through the noise, there's some truth to that stuff. I know that lefties can be like, or liberals can be really, really frustrating, but I would hope that if I had used those terms, that my point would have still been valid. Izzy D, could you recommend a good drum sample pack or at best link for drum samples in general? Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, because there are so many different kinds of drums. But there is a pack called All the Drum Machines. Let's see. Can we find it? Bump. What do we got in here? Oh, where'd the music go? Thanks. Oh, these are loops. Loop, 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 loop. Oh, wow. Oh, wait. No, here you go. So this is the reverb.com complete drum machines collection, but it's on archive.org. So to answer your question, go to archive.org and search for Reverb Drum Machines Complete Collection. I'll put it in chat. Go grab that. Boop, bop, boop, boop. Have you heard of the GS Music E7 from Argentina yet? I have. It's a very blue, but I don't really know what makes it special. Hey, no, keep playing my music. I'll put it on Bandcamp. By the way, all the tracks that I've done for the, what do you call it? I can't talk and type at the same time, so. Soundvision.bandcamp.com. These 4 things right here, music for algorithm, these are the YouTube music things that I did. So if you want to grab them, they're here. They're also streaming. And do I have volume control on this? No, I don't. Hopefully it won't be too loud. If it's too loud, hit me up in chat and I'll turn it down. They're also on streaming. I feel like I'm talking over myself. I'll just put these on in the background. How about that? Where's VLC? All right. What else are people saying? Do you have any more mate videos planned for the future? I recently got mine and love it deeply. Okay. That's from Pictures of a Neighborhood. I like the mate quite a bit. It is something that I need to commit myself to. So, you know, part of the reason I did the video on the consumerism stuff is because I have too much stuff. I'm in a position where I have gotten, you know, very lucky, and I have had people send me things to work with. And quite honestly, like, I have too much shit. So I can only focus on one thing at a time. And I'm trying to, you know, focus on the stuff that is going to, well, I've got stuff I need to focus on right now, like my FWA set. That's my main focus right now. So once I'm done with that, I should be able to, like, move on to some other things, and the mate will be part of that. But I need to, like, have a reason to sit down at the mate. And to be honest, the mate to me is something that I like to travel with. So the biggest mistake I made going to Superbooth last year was working at Superbooth. And meaning I actually tried to, like, make a video while I was there, as opposed to just chilling out and making music. That was a really, really stupid thing to do. So I want to go on a vacation where I can sit and work on something like the mate for a long time. And when I do that, I'll have a new album, and then you know, we can talk about stuff from there. But yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, I have to be in the right mood for the mate. It's a tool. I love it, but I just don't have, like, all of the energy for it all the time. Okay. Next question. I would love to make, this is from Crabbleton. I would love to make D&B. I've been making techno so far. My question is, what are some sidechaining tips you have when making Neurofunk D&B? With hardware, you only have one thing in there that can do sidechaining, and that's the syntax. So I guess you'd probably do your drums on the Digitact, run your TD3 into the syntax, and then use this syntax effects bus to do the sidechaining pump trick in there, where you, like, put down trigs and then use the volume envelope to do sidechaining, basically. And I think unless you're doing dance floor style drum and bass or jump up, which I think uses a 4 on the floor sidechain, I think you want to sidechain around where the kick and the snare would trigger. So wherever you put your kick and snare on the digitact, you'd also put it on the syntax effects, what do you call it? Triggers to trigger the volume thing. Crabbleton asks, what sound tracks do you like to sidechain to the kick and drum and bass and neuro? Mostly everything, but you have to understand, I am not an expert in drum and bass whatsoever. My tip for that would be listen to the kind of drum and bass you want to make, and what do you call it? Listen to where things are pumping. Also, I'll show you a really great tool for this. Because honestly, like, if you can just figure out ways to answer these questions yourself, you'll be in a really, really great position to do fun stuff. So let me introduce you to Vision 4X. This is a spectral analyzer tool from Noisia, who, if you know anything about drum and bass and stuff like that, you probably have heard of before. But I'll show you how you can tell if something's been sidechained. So I'm going to go to reference tracks, drum and bass. Where does Trip have sidechaining? I think it does. Let me pull this in. Oh no, what's going on? What? Ableton? All I asked you to do was play a track. Okay. Jesus fucking Christ, I swear to God. Okay. So let me turn this down a bit. So what we're looking for here is not that. We want to put this here, I believe. Get on down here. Track. There we go. And where did I put this Vision plugin? Did I put it on here? Nope. I put it on the MIDI track because I'm a big dumb butt. All right, here we go. So turn this down. All right, so there it is. See these gaps right here? This is the sub. This is the sub right here. This is the kick. See those big old gaps whenever the kick kicks in? That's sidechaining. Now it's harder to see up here whether or not the rest of the stuff is sidechained, but you can kind of just keep your eye, and here's the snare, I believe. Let's see as it goes by. Yeah, this is the snare, I believe. So sidechain. It's at very least going around the what do you call it? The kick and the snare for the bass. But take a look in that kind of stuff and take a listen and start to be able to hear sidechaining. It will be very, very useful to you. Ed says Ditto Looper has no screen, but I read Dildo Looper, so yeah, I don't know what's up with that. David B asks, is there a cheaper way to replicate some of the analog heat effects, or should I focus more on my mixing? I'm not sure which effects you mean. There are different types of effects in the analog heat. If you mean saturation and distortion, yeah, the deluge doesn't really have good saturation and distortion. So unfortunately, that's the thing. If you want the other effects, like definitely get on the community firmware and get yourself all the other effects that exist there. Peter says, joined, we're watching YouTube to watch YouTube. Yeah, man, that's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. Adam says, monthly challenge, make a drum kit and make something using. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Jason asks, thoughts on the Poly-N Play Plus versus the Deluge? I think the Play Plus is pretty damn cool. The Deluge is more of a full DAW. So it's a little deeper and more less performative in a way than the Play Plus. I'd say the Play Plus, keep it for performance, and then the Deluge is really great for well, it's great for performance, but not in like the live tweaking kind of way. Sonic asks if I've ever tried the NerdSeek. Nope, I don't want that kind of sequencing in my rack. What else do we got? I'm just going through all the questions. A Fox in Space, you have a mod X6? Hell yeah, that's fucking rad. Hyon asks, or Hyon, cute icon. Questions about lessons from you. How beginning are you willing to teach? I'm struggling to learn effectively through YouTube, read the fucking manual route, and feel like some lessons may help. Email me, and we can talk a bit more about where you are with things. I can at least give you like some tips on where to go to learn better or how to learn better. I agree that YouTube is not a very good place to learn, but I'll need to know more about your situation. And yeah, I can't really answer that right here. Ed asks, is there an alternative to some kind of electron analog heat plus effects? I like the whole envelope follower sound design. Modular or a DAW? Sammy from One Fox to Another, Worf, yes. What's my opinion on the LXR02 from Leo? A missed opportunity. I feel like Erica Synths just took a DIY project and they didn't really add much to it, to be honest. They didn't improve the editing. They didn't improve the sequencer. Yeah, it just kind of, it's fine, but it's not really all that great. John asks, have you listened to some On Tennyson project files on his YouTube? I have not. I don't know what that is. Akash asks, hi Jeremy, as someone who fell off of music making around 3 years ago, how do I get back? Everything feels overwhelming. I even quit the EasyBond bed other discords as I was feeling too depressed. Well, I would start as small as possible. Just play something. If you have any hardware that you like to play, just sit and play it. Don't worry about making anything. Try to re-engage with music as the smallest what's the right word? No expectation sort of quanta of itself. And for me, that's always just sitting down and playing something. If you feel less depressed from that, maybe don't act immediately on the urge to jump back into fully making something or writing a song. Kind of ride the feeling for a bit and just, again, like play, make sounds on something that you can sit with. Don't open a computer yet. Just like play something. That's my suggestion. Art asks, do I still use the Analog Rhythm Mark II by any chance? I don't. And the reason for that is because I had a really fun time making Anderson .Paak beat with it and doing that. And then I tried to sit down and do that again with some tracks, acapellas of clippings. And I found myself incredibly frustrated by its limitations for that kind of thing. And I ended up just using the Syntect and doing live remixes of the clipping tracks with Syntect. It's on my YouTube channel. And it was so frustrating. I'm like, look, I don't need this anymore. The Syntect does most of what it does, and I like that better. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that. So no, I don't have it anymore. Prince Vice says to Akash, I found lowering the stakes helps. Yeah, I agree with that. Kushtar asks, could you share an opinion on vocoders, VST versus hardware? I don't have any vocoders except, actually, no, I don't. I don't have my Mini Freak anymore. I like them. I think they sound great. But I don't have an opinion of VST versus hardware. The best vocoder is the one that you can use the easiest. So go find yourself one there. Hi, Underdog. Hope you're well. Boop beep bop boop boop bop beep boop ba up bop bop. Bono Boy says, just chatting. Wanted to say super chuffed to see you on a live, mate. Aw, I love it when people are chuffed. That's my favorite word for being happy, is chuffed. Can I get the change the game red facial expression? Oh, God. What was that? The game changing here. Yes. The game has changed. I can't, the game has changed. Guess what? Game Changer did not like that video. They did not think that was fun. No one has any humor. How would you make a sequence that was generative but stayed at a set time signature, like specifically something at an odd time like 7 or 9 or 994? It all depends on what tool you're using for generative sequencing. It has to have a sense of like time signature, but okay, hold on. So you like realize generative doesn't mean random, right? Like generative means you set up a series of parameters and then let something permutate. So if you're thinking random and time signature, you can't determine a time signature from random sequences. I don't think. Not really. You're going to need to introduce repetition in some way for the listener to understand what a time signature is. So figure out how to do that with whatever you're doing. Like it could be rhythmic repetition and note variation. It could be some weird combination. No, I mean, that's basically be it. I think you'd want to instill like rhythmic determinism and melodic or timbral generation, generative stuff, if that makes sense. Deluge RMR stream. I'm down to learn your magic. I will think about that. I need to get a streaming tool hooked up over there. I was actually thinking about doing this one today as a Deluge thing, but it's not ready yet. Boop, bop, bop. Reading. Renee asks, watched your Qubit data bender video. Looks awesome. There is nothing like the Qubit data bender. It is super cool. Considering buying a secondhand one to replace my Roland Scooper as a clock looper module. Can the DB be good as just a looper? No, it cannot. It doesn't. No, it's no. If you want a really cool looper, check out the Raya Media Taurus. I think that's my favorite, just like immediate, like boop boop looper. The Magneto can also act as a looper, but I would not get the Data Bender as a looper at all. All right, what else we got going on here? Bop 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 beep boop. My dog is farting a lot. Holodyne asks, I miss your pop tunes like Sing Me to Sleep. Is there a plan to deliver? I'm assuming you mean more of that in the future. I mean, no, not really. Like, also, have you heard Determinism? Like, have you heard this album? Like, this is poppy as hell. Like, well, for the most part. Here, where's the masters for this? If you liked Sing Me to Sleep, this album has the closest to what I've done of that, of anything. So, where is it? In progress, Determinism. Did I put it in done? No, where'd it go? Yeah, I'll put this on in the background. Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't heard Determinism, go check it out. It may be up to your standards of whatever pop is. I don't know. I just write whatever I feel like writing at the time. I would love to do stuff like that again, but you have to understand that that album had like a handful of bespoke written tracks for it, like that one did. Like Sing Me to Sleep. And then a lot of it was just random shit that I made over the year. So it wasn't a very like cohesive album. Which one was that? Was that Pataphysical? No. Was it? Oh, it was juvenile hyperobject. Yeah. So. Instead. So check that out. Any plan for UK gigs at all? I am thinking that remember how I mentioned I wanted to go on a trip and play shows or whatever? I didn't say that. I didn't want to say I play shows. I didn't want to play shows. That's what I want to do. I want to go to Europe and eat food and travel around and play some shows. So if I can do that, then yes. You like Ableton better than Bitwig? Yes, because I know Ableton better. TEO preset pack? Yeah, sure. I'll work on that. Thank you for bringing that up as a request. I will revisit the TEO. Yes, I just got my my TEO. Can you see it back there? Is that why you're asking? It's like the one synth that's in view. Yeah, I just got my prototype switched out for a what do you call it? Production model. So I will revisit it. Yes. Can we get some videos? Oobson asks on arranging rather than beat making. I will figure out a way to talk about that. It is a big thing to tackle. Martin asks, do you have any recommendations for acoustified electronic music like the project you did with David Bruce or the band Mute? I don't. I'm sorry, but maybe somebody here can suggest in the chat. Does anyone have any recommendations for acoustified electronic music? Actually, I do. Mum, the band Mum. Have you heard of Mum? Moom? Check out Moom. Also, check out the No Twist. This needs to be a... Let's see. Moom. Check out Moom. Also, check out No Twist. Those are the two I can think of off the top of my head. Also, check out Shigito, like we talked about earlier. They're really great. Yeah. Serious Pancake, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Chuffed to bits. We're all chuffed. All right. Mars Monkey Max asks, what's your preferred method for releasing music? I throw it up into the air as a dead corpse of a thing and hope that people like it. For me, really, the process of this whole thing is about the making of it. I get really weird about the final release part because I don't have a release strategy. So I put it on Bandcamp and I put it on DistroKid and I say, hey, it's out. One thing I will say is that someone in my lessons mentioned that they asked like ChatGPT for a strategy on how to deal with a release. Like, how do I release a track and have people look at it? And I think that's a really interesting idea because I think part of the problem that I have is that like I hate self-promotion. I'm really bad at it, like terminally bad at it. Everything that I've gotten has been sort of an accident based on people just saying like, cool, we like you, and that's kind of how it's worked out. But I've never been good at like pushing past that mark. So like asking an LLM like for advice on how to release something kind of like depersonalizes it, and you just kind of follow instructions as long as they're not like really annoying and dumb. And I think that's actually kind of a cool thing to take the pressure off of you, make it less about you, and make it about following sort of a playbook and seeing what happens. But also realizing that there is so much music out there that I don't really know how anyone finds anything or hears anything or does anything. So I think that it would be important to enjoy the process of making something and have that be a really, really big part of it. And then once you release it, you can say, hey, I made something, and then you can go make something else. That's my idea. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, I don't want to miss any questions. You remember the set you did for the Lo-Fi Festival in the Deluge? Planning on doing something like that again? Yes, I'm actually planning on doing something like that, exactly like that again. So give me some time. Jan asks, for your module demos, I believe you said you sometimes add drums, etc. afterwards in Ableton. Any chance you get a process workflow? Yeah, let me make a note about that. That's a really easy video to do. Do a video about arranging modular in Ableton afterwards. Yeah, I can do a video about that. That's chill. Tom says, Watch It Burn, listens to almost daily, still one of my favorite hits. Yeah, Watch It Burn is the one, like, I'm going to write a super, like, poppy track about burning everything down politically. It's great. I love it. Okay. You always have great hoodies. Where do you get your hoodies from? They look cozy. Yes, I love hoodies. I have to wear a hoodie all the time. I have body dysmorphia or something. I don't know. I get them from wherever I can. This is actually my partner's old hoodie that I stole from him because I have gotten larger as I've gotten older, and now I can steal his old twink clothing. So yeah, I think you just find stuff that you like the look of and you grab it. Davnak asks, what's your favorite pastime hobby outside of music-related things? I like exercising and biking. I like cooking. I like playing piano, but that's a music thing. I like video game. That's it. Kristar asks, Jeremy, what is your opinion? Oh no, I lost it. Where'd it go? Considering converters, is it possible to hear an audible difference between a Focusrite Scarlett and RME? Yes, there is. I don't hear it anymore, but when I switched from my previous interface, which was a Focusrite Claret, to an RME Fireface UFX Plus, I was like, whoa, the stereo image on this is insane. If you don't want to shell out for a $3,000 interface like the RME Fireface UFX Plus, you could get like the little RME thing and then pair it with a set of what do you call it? Like, what do you call it when it's just like D to A or God damn it! Is it Octapre? What is the Octapre? It's just preamps. Yeah, it's a audio like ADAT expander. So you get the little RME. Is it Fireface? You get the little RME thing. Yeah. No, come back. Show it to me. You get like this, or you get the little tiny, even smaller one. And you pair it with something like the Octapre or even the Behringer preamps. This little guy, like the baby face. Yeah, and then you ADAT expand it. Oh wait, you can't ADAT expand this. Never mind. What am I thinking? Anyways, yes, you can hear a difference, but don't let that keep you from enjoying your Focusrite. It really doesn't matter all that much, honestly. It does not matter. Riley BBT asks, why is Bandcamp the best? Because you get all of the money from it. Yebby asks, how important is the visual design of a piece of gear DAW plugin to you? A little bit. A piece of hardware's visual design sometimes speaks to its interface, and therefore it means that's how I engage with it, so therefore it is important. In plugins, I think my least favorite thing is like the universal audio like thing where they're like really, really skeuomorphic, to the point where like I'll show you. So let's see, filters, delay and modulation. So shit like this, or like where they like basically just like copy the old interface, but like they'll actually have like all the terrible quirks that the previous interface had. Like, I don't like that. I can't really find like a good example of this, but I think skeuomorphism is overrated. But in general, I don't really care all that much. I just need to be able to like understand what's going on. Do. All right, I'm going down, looking at more questions. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, I'm at the bottom now. Let's see. Oops, I missed. This is super fun. Okay, am I at the bottom? Oh my god, I've almost gotten to the bottom. Audio is at least a full second behind video. Okay, well, such is life. Holodine says there's a bespoken story behind the fame of Avicii. His best friend made the promotion at a hardcore level. Yeah, and then Avicii went on and cursed us all with the worst fucking music that's ever been written. 5/10 asks, got rid of the rhythm. If you were to use a drum machine to play live drums in your sequence, which machine? Ooh. Cool question. Probably Syntax. Hydrosynth videos you made are still the best on the internet. Any plans to make more? Yes, I do. See, this is great. Like, people want to see Hydrosynth videos, TEO videos, Deluge videos. I like hearing what people like to see. Thank you. Koya asks, I've been digging your DJ mixes of different genres. Makes me want to try something like that myself. Any advice to find good music under a certain genre? Two places, Beatport and Bandcamp. So, one of the, if you can afford, if you have the money for this, like, but Beatport streaming is amazing. You get access to every single electronic music track that exists, pretty much. But the really cool thing is you can get, like, if you want to go, like, let's say I want to do, like, UK bass. You come in here and you, like, on the app, like, not this, but the streaming app, or just the Beatport app. Come in here, and then, like, you can go into these dig deeper things right here and pick a genre. So let's say I want to do, like electro, and then you get access to, like, these charts of various kinds for years and years and years and years and years and years. So this is a great way to dive into, like, stuff that you might want to explore. And you just put these on and listen. And, like, if you hear something that you really, really like, you save it to a playlist. Now, if you pay a certain amount of money, you can actually integrate this with certain DJ software and just play sets from Beatport streaming. So you can use this as your streaming music tool to discover stuff. And you can also use it as your as your DJ tool, which is pretty neat. Another thing you can do is just go onto Spotify, and once you know the genre's name, or whatever streaming tool you use, not just Spotify, and search. And then as you look through playlists from people, because people will make playlists, save stuff that you like. Make your own playlist from that, and there you go. What was the other thing I said? So Beatport's great for that, but Bandcamp has a pretty robust underground and above ground selection of electronic music. So here you kind of just use all of these tags here and just start listening to stuff. It's like crate digging, except it's digital. So those are the two places I would recommend. And the reason that I recommend both also is because you can also get uncompressed tracks from both places. So you'll have the best quality that you can get, which is cool. How'd you make that clipping video? Did you build beats to the acapellas playing in the DAW? Yep, that's exactly what I did. For those who don't know what they're talking about, I did these remixes live of clipping. Go ahead and pause this real quick. So I put the acapellas into it was supposed to be a big burp, and it just turned out like a choked burp. That was really bad. I put them into Ableton and arranged them into chunks, and then made patterns alongside them. And each track is made up of like 8 or 9 patterns, so that because they're like songs basically. So I'll be switching back and forth between different patterns for different sections of the track. But that's how I'm going to do the Thank You No Terror remixes as well. Yeah, it's fun. Really, really, really fun. Okay. I think I've reached the end of the stuff. Yes, I have. Okay, good. Let's make some presets real quick, shall we? Hooray, we did it. Okay. So we have a couple different tools here. What I wanted to try is, so the way this works is, ECS has machine library folders. Let me show you just how it works by normal. So if I have to clear off my desktop real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. If I go over to here, I go like kits and presets. I'll just zero out what I have. Bump. Okay. Cool. Let me copy these over real quick. Oh god, that's so much. Thank you, Cellar Door. I like Cellar Door as a name. That's cool. Have I heard of any more of Amor Dawn's stuff? No. Who was that? Who was that? Is that? Oh, they've got to be Icelandic, right? Yes. You could. Oh wow, this is great. Oh, this is fantastic. God, I love Icelandic music. Yeah, Cellar Door makes me think of Donnie Darko as well. This is great. Yeah, Vaughn, is it Bless? That is the just like insanely beautiful one. Should we watch the we'll watch the intro to it real quick. Because the intro track is really cool too. Gross. I like how it's like all these people just smiling, and the actual anime is just like extremely fucked up. Oh, Wantanami did this? That must be why I watched it. Oh shit, I did not realize that. I did not realize that. That's makes so much sense. That's really cool. Yeah. Okay. He also worked with Oliver Arnolds. Yeah. I used to like Oliver Arnolds until he was an apologist for fucking Christian Henson. And then I was like, no, that sucks. Fuck composer nepotism and composer solidarity when it's like to protect shitty transphobes and turfs. Favorite animes? I don't know off the top of my head. I've watched too many. My brain is fried from anime. Speaking of disappointments, I did not realize that the director or creator of the Devil May Cry anime was such a fucking piece of shit. Like Trump supporting like Asmongold supporting ass piece of shit. Um, wait, who is that? Who is who? Do you mean Christian Henson? Um, if you mean Christian Henson is the co-founder of Spitfire Audio, who turned into a giant turf. I don't know. I don't know why. Like Oliver, like continued to work with him basically, and said some apologetic things about him in forums. They've worked very closely many times, and I do have this feeling that like the BBC and its compositional like people that compose for the BBC are all just like shitty. Like it's just like rotten to the core up in there. Let me tell you about Christian Henson real quick. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, he's still getting paid from Spitfire. He pretended to step down as a director, but he still is attached to the company via his co-ownership, and as far as I know, he still benefits materially from what they do. So, fuck Spitfire, fuck anybody that continues to work with them, and fuck Christian Henson and his happy-go-lucky fucking Crow Hill Company thing that he spun up with resources from what do you call it? From Spitfire, and his weird group of sycophants who get up into his mentions and make transphobic jokes. Fuck him. I never separate art from the artist. Sorry, I don't. Ring system music. I don't know the official way to separate, to make a non-trigger step on Electron change a parameter, but I will tell you the way that I do it. And that is, I'll do a real-time record. So hold down record and push play, and then turn the knob that you want to, like basically record the knob that you want to change the parameter of. And what you'll see after you're done recording are yellow trigs, and those are trigless trigs that just change the parameter. I think you might be able to just like hold down a trig and then like change the parameter you want, and that will also record it to a trig. So yeah. Thank you so much to Araf Aka, who donated and said, "Hey, Jeremy, I'm terribly stuck with the pattern making on Digitech 2. I want to push it forward. Maybe not an entire song, but something more moving." Well, that's going to be incredibly contextual. But the way that I think about making stuff on the Digitect and Digitone is I get the most out of one pattern. I almost never move past a second pattern unless I'm writing a song, and I don't really think the Electron boxes are really fun to write songs on. So I would look at your pattern and figure out how to make it a singular, cool, powerful groove or whatever it is, or pattern, and then use mutes and control all to perform it. Those boxes are performative. What you do with the box in a performance sense is how you make the piece of music. So try to engage with it more as a performance tool, and yeah, try to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and make a kit real quick now that I have moved this stuff over. So the way this works, preset maker, presets, delete, yes. Oh, it's not there. Cool, okay. Why you say you're there, but you're not there? You little dumb piece of crap. Okay, weird. Anyways, so what I can do here is grab, if anyone here like uses Native Instruments stuff, then you have access to some expansions. Some of them just come with expansions. And what those usually look like are things like, thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate that. Let me open up Native Access real quick and I'll show you. This doesn't work just on, what do you call it? Native Instrument stuff, but this is the way I have been using it. So if I go over here to my expansions, I'll see that I have access to every single one because I, what do you call it? Have partner with Native Instruments, I guess. But let's just look at these two. So Community Drive and Community Drive 2021, these are both free. So we'll use that. So I'll go down to Community Drive and Community Drive 2021. Community Drive. Where the fuck are they? Did I not have these installed? Let me install them real quick. I'm an idiot. Luckily, they're not very big. Ba-da-boop, ba-da-ba-da-bup. Yeah, if you're not using the Electron boxes in a performative manner, then I really, 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 really suggest that you start figuring out how to perform, because like 90% of like a lot of electronic music is just muting things and switching parts out. So basically, like with 16 tracks, how many tracks do you have on that shit? You have so many tracks on the Digitakt 2 that what you can do is like write parts that aren't meant to be in all the time, and then you only bring them in now and then, and that creates like song sections in one pattern, which is cool. Okay, Community Drive, here we go. So I'm going to drag this into here. Where'd you go? Come here. Community Drive. There it is. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so here it is, and I'm going to say I want Deluge kits, and I want Ableton Live kits. I'm going to say make kits. One or more non-machine libraries were detected. This folder will not be processed in machine mode. Oh, okay. I thought this was a machine expansion. Okay, I guess it's not. Fuck me. Get out of here, useless piece of shit. All right. What's a free one? You can use the machine if you get access to the machine library, like the factory library. That gives you so much stuff. So much stuff. But let's just do let's do a smaller one. How about, well, these are all huge. What's this one? Gray Forge. I'll install that real quick. I haven't done that one yet. Expansions are really good. And it's obviously how they make money. You know, it's obviously how Machine and Native Instruments makes extra money by putting out these little things. But some of them are really great. But you obviously don't need any of them. This is just a way for me to like make stuff for the Deluge in a really, really quick way. So what I want to do after I show you this is I'm going to show you like the non-machine way, because it'll also process it like just regular sample packs. Sorry, in case you don't know, my audio is just like a tiny bit behind what I talk because I'm using a denoiser. So if I sound like I'm drunk or slurring my words, that's why. So Community Drive, I don't want that. Great. Where's Gray Forge? You almost done there? So what I want to do is, after I show you this, I'm going to show you, what do you call it? We're going to explore whether or not it can take all those 90s sample CDs, those ones I got from archive.org, and turn those into kits, because that would be cool as fuck. So we'll take a look at that in just a second. Gray Forge, are you done? Downloading. 25 minutes remaining. Oh my God. Okay, I'm just going to do this one that exists already. So Halcyon Sky. Boop, get in there. Make kits. Making kits, which is also what foxes do when they are making new foxes. That's a fox joke for you. I don't want this anymore. All right, it's doing that. Show kits. Great. Cool. So it put this on my desktop. Deluge kits. Did it not make Ableton kits? Oh, it installed them for my DAW? Interesting. I wonder where I put that. So what happened here is if you go into kits, here is the deluge stuff. So each one of these, someone asked, did I download the whole thing? Akash downloaded the whole thing of what? The 90s sample CDs? If that's the answer, no, I downloaded the ones that I wanted. If you click in to show all files, you will eventually find individual stuff you can download. Nice knowing you, O1. What's up with you and foxes? I'm a furry. Did you not? I've been a furry since like 1998. Like, I just am now like having fun with it on the internet as opposed to being embarrassed by it. That's what's up with me and foxes. Okay, so these XML files are, what do you call it? Kits. And you just load them up. So all the kits that were in Halcyon Sky, the drum kits, are now here for your Deluge. So you drag this into your kits folder on the Deluge, and you drag the this kit maker thing into drum samples, and now you have those kits. So in the kit maker thing, if we go into here, we'll see these are all the samples. So this kit, for instance, sounds like let's see. Don't need this anymore. Oop. Get out of here. Okay, well, I guess that doesn't work. I love VLC. It's so fucking cool. I have been a furry for a very long time. Yes. It's part of it's part of me. Ever consider making another channel for ARP? I have. I was thinking about doing that, but like, I don't know what I would do with them in that case, in that situation, because I don't know. If I can think of like a continuing thing to do with ARP in that situation, then I might. But I'm having fun doing ARP on main channel right now. Okay, so the point here is I now have all like 39 drum kits that I can now use in the Deluge that are just like pre-made for me. Now you have to be careful because just like with like this sample from Mars, like all the samples that you can download them from, that you could download from them, this could be a little too much. Like it can get overwhelming. I did this to every expansion that I have, and now I have too much shit. So take it easy. Don't go crazy with this. It can be far too much. So let's try a sample pack. I'm going to go over to my 90s samples and see what we have. They are dog cats, sort of. If the political situation between US and Canada resolves, do you ever think you perform at Vernal Equinox? I will fucking perform at Vernal Equinox now. I just need to be asked, really. Like, I'm not scared of trying to travel right now. I think it would be pretty wild if I went to Canada as a performer for a FurCon and like people were mad at me. That would be weird. Yeah, I'd love to. Sure, why not? Let's find a sample pack in here. Drums. What does this say? No, that's not useful. They have to be like named properly. There is a way to auto sort stuff. So let's see if we can try that real quick. What do I want to use for this? I will go into Samplified. And I will say drums and perk. Let's see. What happens if I auto sort, choose sample pack folder, prepare for kit maker. Creates a copy with better organized folders for use with kit maker. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go like here, and I will say auto sort. I did. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so it made a copy of that on my desktop. Let's see what it did. Oh, cool. Yeah. So here's the categories that it wants to see. So now I'm going to take this and drop it in here and say, make kits. Show kits. Okay. So that is a kit not from a machine pack, but from a thing that it organized in my own sample library. So it's right here. So because it like just generated what do you call it, kits based on a sample pack, and there's no name for each individual kit like with the machine stuff. You can see here that it all has like very generic names. So what I'd probably do here is I would put these in a batch file renamer, and this one from for Windows is great, the bulk rename utility. And I'd probably just come in here and remove the first bit. Actually, I'd remove all of this and say Awaken Kit, because that's the sample pack name. And then I rename those. You can rename the XMLs just fine. Won't really hurt anything. So there you go. More drum kits. Raccoon, hello Raccoon. You own a Roland Verslab MV1, but the sampling workflow kind of sucked on it. Is it worth to work to the circuit rhythm route or the SP404? SP404. Do not get a circuit rhythm for sampling. You want to sample? Get a SP404 for sure. Yes. Different animals supposed to mean different things. Assumed it was like you pick an animal which you find looks cool. Yeah, I mean visuals is definitely a big part of it, but I think a big part of it has to do with the perceived sort of like, well, there's like the behavior of the animal, but also sort of the symbol of the animal. Like, what does the animal represent in your culture? Like, you know, I really like crows. Like, I would absolutely have like a crow Sona. Like, that would be dope. Like, foxes I identify with. My fox story is because like, okay, so this is furry lore of Jeremy. Like, my first persona was a snow leopard, and I picked that because they're very, very like, what do you call it? Isolated and alone. Like, and I identified with that. And then I went to Burning Man, I think the first or second time, and I was on a heroic dose of acid, and I was in my tent, and someone was telling us a story about how there's a camp that had a pants cannon, and they shot pants at people because a lot of people do that in Burning Man. They do this thing called shirt cocking, where they'll just wear a shirt and no pants. And so they shot pants at them. And I don't know why, but like we started talking about this and I was like, it's like rubber chicken cannon. Like they shot rubber chickens. And maybe that was a thing that existed. I don't remember. But I was like, I bet a fox would like chase a rubber chicken shot from a cannon, not knowing that it was a rubber chicken. It would be like, oh, I want to get that chicken. And I was like, wow, I'm that stupid. I would do that. Oh shit, I'm that fox. So I'm the rubber chicken Burning Man fox that would, you know, do everything it could to get the chicken shot out of the rubber chicken cannon. Yeah, that's the really, really stupid story of how that happened. DJ Personal asks, in your opinion, how should one choose between which is best to use between Push Machine or Deluge, assuming you've had a laptop computer connected to this setup? Okay, so I wouldn't use any of those connected. Well, okay, like Push as a controller for Ableton, yeah, sure, fine. Machine controlling the machine software, yes, fine. Deluge connected to the computer, no. Push standalone, not connected to the computer, Machine Plus, not connected to the computer, good. Deluge, not connected to the computer, good. So you have to develop your use case just a little bit more, unfortunately, for me to be able to answer that. Going back to the like, how do you pick an animal question? So you identify with the animal based on your cultural stereotypes and understanding of the animal. Coyotes are tricksters. Foxes are sly and other things. You know, if you're into like birds, you could be like, I really like crows or something like that. You know, like there's all these stereotypes or more like archetypes, like Jungian kind of things that you have with animals, whether or not you know it. We have fables, we have all this shit that we grew up with, right? So all that stuff plays into it. And there's also the visual aspect, like, do you think it looks cool? Like, Yeah. So there's definitely a visual aspect to it. There are other considerations too. It's complicated. Everyone's a little different. And the reason that you might pick a particular, like the reason that you might get engaged with this process is going to be different for different people. So for me, the reason that I like, and yes, you have to get a Renee. The reason that I originally sort of like attached to furry as a concept was because growing up, my parents all were really unhappy. Like I saw that it seemed like getting older and growing up was a sentence of depression, unhappiness, fighting, like all this stuff, and it kind of gave me a complex about getting older and like that life seemed to be, for humans at least, just inherently it was going to be suffering. And part of my brain was like, animals don't do that. Animals don't give a shit. They just get to animal around. Like they don't know anything about that particular like that kind of suffering that human beings do. And so I was like, man, I wish I was an animal. It's like I don't want to fucking like deal with this. I don't want to deal with like how fucked up human brains are over my whole life. And I don't know, it just kind of like was a coping mechanism for that. And it's been with me for a really long time, and my relationship with it has changed here and there. But ultimately, I think it's really interesting to compare and contrast the idea of like self-consciousness. Is it sapience or sentience? What's the difference between sapience versus sentience? So humans are sapient, I think. Yeah, humans are sapients, which is where suffering comes from, and um, animals are sentient, which, uh, while they can suffer, they don't suffer through the process of self-awareness. Yeah, exactly, Costa says. So I'm not a big fan of sapiens. And I think there's a lot of furries that would probably agree with that in ways. I mean, that's what pup play is about too, right? Sort of like removing sapience, or at least as a concept, from what you're doing. Raccoon, yeah, okay, cool. Advice for starting a music YouTube channel. Don't, don't do it. What do you want to do with your YouTube channel? What do you want to do on there? Let me know. Explain kind of what you thought you would do on your channel. We'll talk more. Renee, uh, Renee is great. It's super, super fantastic. If you have Ableton, there is a thing from Max for Live called the Cartesian sequencer that I believe you can try out. If you have, what's it called? VCV Rack, there are Cartesian sequencers in there as well. So give those a try. Okay, so we've done kit maker. That's that. Let me show you the preset maker thing too, because this is also insane. Though I'm having a having a problem finding it. I installed it. Come on. Come on. Oh, it just loads? Why is it called an installer if it just fucking opens it? I hate that shit. Okay, that's bizarre. What is this? What are you doing here? Okay. Anyways, so what this is going to do is look for multi-samples in your ship and create pitched kits for Deluge. Now, this thing is even weirder than it'll create SFZ files. That's dope. This thing's even a little bit more glitchier than the other one, but we're going to give it a try. So what we want to do is find some samples. There we go. There's the burp I tried to do earlier. Find some samples that have note names in them. So multi-sampled things. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, doot, doot. That's a good question. The icebreaker question. So what I need to do is find... With KitMaker, you make an Ableton kit with a machine kit, or is it duplicating all the files in the Ableton kit? It's probably duplicating them. Ooh, Owl. That's a good one. Yeah, you'll probably end up with a lot of duplicate files on your shit. Sorry. I think that's what happens. I'm not 100% sure. Where do I have some multi-sample stuff? I think I have it in here from the old torrents of shit. Let's see. To sample pack. Yeah, here we go. Not useful. Not useful. Not useful. You need to have note names in them. Oh yeah, here we go. So this has some organs. Let's take a look at this. So if I grab like this string thing, maybe some organs, what's synth waves? Oh yeah, this will work too. Synth waves, synth basses, mostly leads. What's in here? There we go. Okay, so make presets. I'll look in Ableton where these may have ended up. Ableton user library, sampler, preset maker presets. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look at those. Ableton library here. Presets, instruments, sampler presets. Was it sampler presets or simpler presets? No, I lost it. We'll search for preset maker. They're not here. It looks like it's still refreshing though, so we'll get back to that in a second. More people should be maned wolves. You know what? I don't disagree with that. Maned wolves are pretty cool. One of my biggest contributions to the furry fandom was the maned wolf legs video, which I don't know if you know about this. This has been like shared so much at this point. I don't know if anyone knows that I made it. Hi, Caro. Caro is the one that made my my VR chat avatar, so that you can thank them for that. I can't restart Ableton because I am speaking to you through Ableton.
They tried to put me on the cover of Vogue, but my legs were too long. Every day is leg day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
See ya, Pulse. Thanks for stopping by.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday is the one day I get on my runway. Ready for it, hunty. Ready for it, hunty. I'm legendary. All legs, no dairy. I'm legendary. All legs, no dairy.
No dairy.
What's on the menu? What's on the menu? What's on the menu?
Legs.
What's on the menu? What's on the menu? What's on the menu?
Leg. Okay. I guess we're not getting preset stuff in here. I did not sing that. No, that's from I think RuPaul's Drag Race. It's one of the performances from RuPaul's Drag Race. Link, please. Link to maned wolves. Okay, hold on a second. Legs. There you go. Leg. All right, so we're not going to get, it sounds like we're not going to get those preset maker things, even though, see how it's like going boom, 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 boom. A hyperpop remix of that would be fucking fantastic. So it should be finding this stuff in here, but honestly, this shit is so stupid. Ableton is dumb. It's really dumb. Ooh. You were a little sleuth, aren't you? Yeah, probably my most, well, the only thing I've ever gotten playlisted on Spotify, an official playlist, was a track I made at FWA. And it made me wonder if somebody at Spotify as a furry because it was like just weird that like that was the one track of all my things that randomly got playlisted. Super, super weird. Okay, so we made some presets. So preset maker presets. Hello, Mo. Deluge presets, synths. So it made, so remember the folder here, if we go into 2 organs, there was Dorgan and Co. So it didn't know what, when it says loose, it just means like random shit. So it didn't pull these in properly, but it did get the Dorgan. So let's see what it did with 2 strings. It got the 2 strings ones. So it made presets of Beyond and NL. So what these are now are, these are multi-sampled deluge presets, which means, you know, it'll stretch the pitch from C1 up until C2, and then blah, blah, blah. But now you have this like instrument that you can go and edit some more. So this is rad. It means that you can, you know, go find like these 90s sample CDs or whatever and download some of them. And normally I wouldn't even fuck with like most of this stuff. Like I don't need, on my computer, I don't need shit like this. Like I have so many instruments. This is like something from like old samplers, right? But for the deluge, this is rad. This is super, super, super cool. So I'm working through the machine ones I did now, and there's just like so many of them. It's going to take me a while. Once I get that done, I'll probably reorganize them, and then I'll do some videos with the deluge using that content and talk about this process a little bit more. But I also might give that stuff away in the deluge, what do you call it? The deluge Discord, because I don't own the samples, right? So even doing that's a little bit dubious, but you know, I think it'd be kind of cool to like get more stuff out there for people if they wanted to use it. So that's Kit Maker and Preset Maker. That's what we were making. That's all I'm going to show you because we've been mostly just chatting, and I think it's time to wrap up the stream and get on with my day. It's been 2 hours. It's flown by. So thank you so much for joining us. Me, the royal me. I hope you're well. I appreciate that you came by and hung out. It's been fun. If you're in the Discord, I'll see you in the Discord. If you're not, join the Patreon and join us in the Discord. It's fun. I like having fun. Anyways, y'all take care. I'll see you soon. See you in the next video and stuff.